This is Shades of Content, a podcast created for and featuring women of color who create and distribute content as a means to tell stories to the masses. I'm your host, Patrice Camo, owner of Camp Space, and I'm passionate about giving diverse women creators a space to be awesome. Let's go. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I wanted to give you a quick intro. This episode is a little different because it's actually a recording of a recent Pick My Brain session that I did with a member of my ultimate content creator community. So I started doing these brainstorming sessions about a year ago. I've streamlined it a little bit, and now they're just these 1 hour pick your brain sessions where people can just ask me any questions. Typically, the questions are about opening a brick and mortar event space like the one that you'll hear in a few. They're about pitching media, they're about different content ideas. But I really do love brainstorming, and I recognize that I can't work with everybody one-on-one. And I also recognize that everybody might not need the full shebang. Sorry, that was my daughter. But to be able to just sit on the phone with somebody for an hour and just hear their thoughts and give them all my ideas and help them out with resources is actually really fulfilling to me. So I decided to record this episode. I decided to record this session that you'll hear in this episode. It's quick, and it's actually not the full hour. It's only about 25 minutes of our conversation. And I don't know, I just felt like this was some content that maybe it can help somebody, maybe it can help you think through some things. And if you want to schedule a brainstorm, pick your brain session with me, the link is in the show notes. You can also grab the link from my Instagram bio. I would love to talk to you. So yeah, enjoy the episode and talk to you soon. You had initially joined UCC for your card, Say Less Studio, but you are actually thinking about opening an event space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get into it.
Okay. So it's been something that I've been thinking about since 2015. And I just slept on it because I've gotten feedback that brick and mortar is not where it's at. That everybody is doing e-commerce and, so while I did start my card company last year and, things are going well with it, as well as they can, I still have some things that I want to work on with that, but I just keep getting pulled to the event space. And I am hosting my brother from out of town, and he wanted to do a last minute birthday party, and I was able to do some things for him last minute a couple of weeks ago. And it just really, put into my spirit that this is really what I want to do.
Okay.
And people, loved what I did for it. I'm not an event planner, but everybody was just saying the party was a vibe. I'm really good at hosting people, and I'm a people person. And, my friends have known my dreams for a while, and they've been really supportive of it. But, just talking to other people in business, it kind of discouraged me. Okay. And so since you have a brick and mortar and you're doing very well, we're still in the pandemic. You've had your place throughout the pandemic. I just wanted to talk to you so that I can make an informed decision on whether I should keep up with what I want to do or just let it go.
Okay. Well, first, I think that, I appreciate you talking to me, and I think that's important. I think you are going to have to stop talking to so many people because that, people are saying event space is not where it's at. Da, 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 da. If you don't have an event space, if they don't have a brick and mortar, then you don't need to talk to them. Now, if they have brick and mortar and they can actually give you real facts on the whole process and they can give you just an informed decision like me, then you have those conversations. But when you have conversations with people that don't get it anyway, then that's a waste of your time. And then they make you feel like you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Right? So you got to be more selective with who you share what you're trying to do with. Now, I have questions for you. Did you start the card company knowing that you still wanted to, like, because some people, like, this has happened to me. I'm like, I really want to do this, but it's not going to work. So let me just do this. Was that the case? Okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's dope that you continue to still create something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, okay. So so you have two different businesses here. An event space and an event planner. Those are two different businesses.
Right.
I know a lot of event planners. None of them have spaces. Not to say you can't. I know a lot of people that own venues, myself included, and a lot of way bigger venues that I've worked with. They are not event planners. They are in the business of owning a space that you rent hourly and you pay to rent it, and all the other stuff you have going on, your planner handles that.
Right.
So I think you need to decide. I do think you have to pick something right now. Like,
definitely the event space because I have helped my friend who is an event planner, and I do not.
Okay.
Okay. I like finding different event venues and what makes them special to bring whatever your event, like, to make it pop. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so when my brother was like, I need to find a space, I already was like, okay, I've been to a lot of these spaces and I pay attention to where I go when it comes to other events. And I just knew what vibe he was going for.
Got it.
And that was the thing. And so, like, in trying to find a space for him, I saw that there, were some spaces that were lacking for, like, more intimate, spaces as just like a blank canvas. You see a lot of, like, what people are doing now. They're like, it's not really too blank. And they have all these, like, designs on the walls and stuff like that. Some people just want, like, something that's all white and crisp. I've seen places like that. Like, there's one Lightbox studio in Annapolis that I would really like to replicate here in PG County.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that's a beautiful space. Because it's just white and people just make it look like crazy. Okay, so let's talk about, like, now just like logistics. Let's talk about if in your perfect world, because I like to work backwards. When would you open this space?
Ooh, in my perfect world, within the next 6 months.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's in my perfect world. That's not knowing what really goes into it. And that's just doing my own backgrounds, like, just Googling and YouTubing and all of that.
Okay. So 6 to 12, we'll say 6 to 12 months. What area do you want to be in?
So I do know I want to be in PG County. I currently live in Laurel.
Okay.
I do like Laurel for the fact that, it's in PG County, but it's also adjacent to surrounding counties. It's very easy, with Howard and Arundel and Montgomery County.
Okay. Have you started looking at locations? Like, have you started looking at places that have for lease signed up? Any of that?
No, I've just been seeing for lease signs and they're saying that you should call the number. But then it's like, I don't know if I just call the number and look at it, or do I need a realtor? Like, I don't really know.
Got it.
How that works.
I did not use that. That's the first thing you at this point right now, you need to be finding a space because that is going to guide everything that you do. You can't think about money, budgets, marketing, promotion, decor. You can't think about any of that until you actually have a physical location. Okay. So I did not use a commercial realtor. I did have my friend who's like one of my closest friends. She is a realtor and she talked to my now landlord because I needed her to, like, finesse something. And she did that just because she's my homegirl. But I found the space on my own, and I was the person just calling. I would go online, commercial real estate. I would ride up and down Route 1 Anytime I saw a for lease sign and it made sense, I would just call them directly. Okay.
Okay.
So you do not
Okay.
have to have a realtor to do that. But you
Okay.
do want to have a realtor or someone that is well versed in lease agreements to go over it. Like once you decide this is where I want to be, you have it's before you get the lease, there's like a piece of paper. It's like a letter of intent that will outline the lease, and you can like put the stipulations you want in there, the rent, the tent, like that basic stuff. You can have that just so you can have an idea of what you're getting yourself into. But once you move forward with the lease, you definitely want to have somebody that's well versed in that to look over that. Okay. And this is, I mean, here's a deal. For me personally, I don't know if I'm going to open any more brick and mortars, not on my own, because the overhead is just, it's daunting. I mean, our rent started at $2,000 a month. It goes up 5% every year. So we're in year 3. We're paying $23.85 right now, which is good. Our rent is pretty cheap, actually. But then you have to factor in expenses, right? So you have, Comcast is $89 per month. Power can sometimes be $150. Washington Gas is usually pretty cheap, like $30. Like those set expenses are there. They're the operating expenses that will never change. But they also eat into the profits because that's a $3,500, $4,000 I'm giving you off the break.
Right.
Whether we make money or not. So you're really going to have to be thoughtful about what the numbers look like. Okay. But we're not there yet. We're not even there yet. First, okay, so we talked, you need to find a space. What about money?
Okay.
When you get this.
Has been the main thing.
Okay.
I don't have money.
Okay.
Like, I don't have much of a savings. I mean, I have what's in my retirement account, but I don't want to touch it.
Okay.
So what I've been doing, so one of the people that discouraged me, and it could be because of like some of the models that I was trying to do. I've been talking to the Women's Business Center.
Okay. Yeah.
For PG County.
Yes.
And so, but their thing is they help us with getting loans.
Okay.
And not necessarily grants.
Yeah.
So I have been applying to grants on my own. The couple that I've applied to, I didn't get it. So I'm just, trying to keep at it. But it looks like I'm still going to have to come up with a loan. So,
okay. I'm so happy you said this. All right. So give me 1 second because I'm going to pull this. So this is why these calls are so important, right? Because I'm able to like legit pull from everything that I know and give it to people. All right. So Maryland just announced the Project Restore grant. Okay. And I'm going to send you the link right now. I'm going to text it to you.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So it will provide 2 grant opportunities for businesses that plan on opening or expanding into vacant spaces. So they're going to give up to $30,000 for rent for your first year. Eligible applicants may be a new or existing business, but they must be located in Maryland. They must be registered and in good standing with the Department of Assessments and Taxation. Businesses must open or expand within 6 months. So once you get this grant, you have 6 months to open.
Okay.
And they have to be a financially viable business whose operations will continue. So it doesn't open, the application doesn't open until September 8th, but this could be you. Like it's a new business. So you legit could, I feel like you should put, if you don't already have your business plan, you need to put the business plan together like this week. Figure out those finances and figure out what is going to cost. What I would do is I would start driving around where you think this venue could work. Okay, in your ideal mind. And just kind of look and see what's available and start calling because you need to know what it's going to cost you. Your rent is going to be the deciding factor for everything.
Yeah.
You also need to think about how much space you need. So camp is 1,200 square feet. We have a really cute backyard. We have a bathroom, and we pay $2,300 a month. That's pretty standard.
Yeah.
But we can't have more than 20 people in there because of fire code. So if you want to do events that are 50 people, then you're going to need a space. You need to know how big you need, how big the county says the space needs to be, because that's also going to determine how, what you do. So if I want an event space that can hold 50 to 100 people, I probably am going to need at least 4,000 square feet. Right? And it's probably going to have 3 exits and entrances. So that is going to narrow down your search when you're going on these commercial listing sites. You're going to say, oh, I need at least 4,000 square feet. You can't even look at nothing that's less than that. I would also look into like these new, so all these new shopping malls and development. A lot of these places, like I'm thinking about Riverdale Park where the Whole Foods is. A lot of those stores are still vacant. And they're legit raw spaces. So how that I'm pretty sure it's a triple net lease. So like you're gonna pay, they're gonna give you money up front to make the space pretty, right? They're gonna give you tenant, I forget what it's called. They'll give you however much you need, I believe, to like put the flooring down, paint walls, drywall. And then you'll probably be paying back on it on the back end. I'm not sure how that works. Don't quote me on that. But I use them as an example because there are a lot of these shopping centers that are coming up that have vacancies. They just have vacancies. They need tenants. So even if you didn't go with them, you could definitely call the landlord, call the leasing agent and say, hey, I am trying to open a 4,000 square foot event space. People are going to rent it hourly. They'll be bringing in food. I need 2 bathrooms, and then they can give you can have some pricing there. Pricing is going to be what's important because that's also going to determine how much you can charge. Not how much you can charge, but you need to see, all right, well, if the going rate for these events is $150 a month, an hour, I can host this many events and make this amount of money. Does this pay the rent? Does this pay the expenses? So you're going to have to like work backwards a little bit. You're going to have to find the facts, the real data, and then use that to orchestrate or architect what this looks like for you. But it's money out there, and I'm glad you're applying to grants and not stopping once if you don't get one. Just keep going. It's definitely money out here. One thing that I was able to do that mattered, even when we opened as a co-work space, was I built community way before I had a space. Okay. I lived and breathed finding a space and co-working for a year and a half, right? Like you're going to have to figure out this is what you want to do, so just lock in. Like at this point, I want you to just lock in. That does not mean you can't still have the card business. Like if it's working, if it's making money, do it. But this is going to be a much bigger undertaking.
Yeah.
And what I'm thinking is if you really work it, you could have this event space, but it could also be where you like do your production for the cards too. Right. So now it's serving as that business address also. And you can figure out other marketing ways to connect the two. But you gotta lock in. You have to lock in.
Yeah.
And once you lock in, you have to start talking about it to your community. And if it were me, I would name it Sayla Studio.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's already there.
Yeah.
I would build community. And maybe you do it through, maybe you take the card page, right? Let me pull it up on my Instagram.
Okay.
Talk to me about what this looks like, what the space, like, just talk to me about it. Like when I opened camp, I knew exactly how I wanted it to feel. I knew the music. Like, talk to me about how I feel when I walk into your event space.
So I wanted to feel cute and chic, and I wanted to feel like my living room.
Okay.
I want it to feel like when you come in, it's warm, good music, good vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of vibe that I'm going for. Like, when I think of celebration, you know, like, so my friends know, like, they always love coming to my house because of the decor that I have. And like, I pay attention to the little things. I have games. I have like signature cocktails and like really cute and chic glassware.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always, you know, ordering something from my multiple friends and family who cater. Like, you know, I like to support them. I always have good music going, like that sort of thing. Like, it doesn't need to be, it's not glamour.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I don't know how to describe it. Just a vibe. I see lots of gold, you know, like I just want it to be chic, but warm, like, you know? And so that's how I would like it to be.
Okay. I think,
I have,
go ahead. Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
I was going to say that, like, I have a lot of people in my network who like to just do different things. And like, even like the other day, I was talking to one of my friends who's a caterer, and he was like, I've always wanted to do a Beyonce themed brunch. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the type of stuff that I feel like I can help with that with my venue. Like those sort of things, you know what I mean? I'm thinking brunch, I'm thinking champagne, like I'm thinking celebrating everybody like just the way they are, you know?
Okay. I think you need to just you need to just go into that. So what I would suggest, and this is just me thinking, I think your audience is bigger on Sailor Soul Design Co. I would figure out a way to turn Sailor Soul Design into Sailor Soul Studio, right?
Okay.
And then, and you call it what you want. What I'm thinking. And then it's the home of warm plus Black Girl Magic plus chic events. Okay. And what you're going to start doing is, and I'm only saying it to here because your individual page, you're not really on there like that.
Yeah.
So just let it be this, and maybe pop yourself into this page. This is where the people are. And I would just start. I would leave this stuff up, but maybe the next post is like you inside of an empty space, or looking at a space, or even hosting a party. I don't know. And you're like, I started this card company because I was too scared to follow what I really want to do. And so now I'm going to go on the journey of doing what I really want to do. And I think that you should start hosting events. Like, you should start hosting events in blank spaces for people. So like you maybe like your friend wants to do the Beyonce brunch. He hires you to plan the event, but he's also hiring you to it's also going to be seen as your event. You know what I'm saying? So like then when you start to, because you could maybe say event curation, stationery, space coming soon.
Okay.
Because you want people to know that you actually do want to open this space, but you got to start building community right now.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like you could rent out camp. I'm just using it as an example. Bring in all your props, like make it a vibe. Invite your people. You can start doing it at your house. Maybe it's the Sailor kickback once a month. You're going to need to start giving people the experience of what it's going to be like when you do have a space. And you can charge for this stuff too, because you need to start making some money. But that's what I think you should do. I think you should just at this point, make every space you go to your own event space. And then showcase that now. Build the community so that once this, and then take them along the process of finding a lease, found a space, take them along the whole process. That's how you're going to build a community. That's how people are going to, once your doors open, they're like, oh, I'm doing it at Selah. It's cute. It's a vibe.
And like, even when I was first thinking about it earlier this year, I have a cousin who has an event space in Burtonsville, Maryland. And, you know, him and his partner, they're not really into aesthetics and everything and like marketing. So I was like, well, let me help them so that it will in turn, it'll be like a, you know, you help me, I help you to do that very thing. But they're not listening to me, you know, and they're not really doing well in their business, actually. And I'm just like, I can't have my kind of events here.
Could you just take over their lease? Could you just take over their business?
So that's what a friend and I were looking into. But so I'm just going to be real with you, and I can say this because I am African, and a lot of Africans are not really the best business people.
Okay.
And so with the pandemic, so their event space is huge. They have great parking, like it's in a great spot.
Wow.
And so my cousin, he's still be going to the clubs and stuff. And he had an idea to like bring club promoters for them to have their parties there while the clubs were closed. And now where the kitchen used to be, he has expanded it and made it into a club, basically, like a little lounge.
Okay.
And it doesn't make sense because the event space is right there. My god sister had her graduation party there. People were coming out of the club, stealing her food, her liquor, that. It was just terrible.
Okay.
And so now that they've done this club thing, they're just like focused in on that.
Got it. Okay. Well, yeah, that's not an option, because I would say it would be really dope if you could just come in and like make it what you need to make it, take over the lease. Maybe they get a percentage. Maybe they find another place for their clubs. I don't know, but
yeah. So in the beginning of the year, they were open to that. And then once they started this club, they're not looking into that anymore.
Got it. Okay.
Shades of Content is brought to you by and recorded at Camp Space, a content creator studio for women of color. To learn more, visit www.campworkspace.com.